bedtime. What's up, J-Dub?
Ooh, just a little nighttime evening episode of Kapow. We hadn't done one of these. I don't know if we've ever done one of these.
No, man. Probably 4 o'clock is the latest we've ever done one of these.
Well, with our bedtimes and all,
I'm getting close. I'm about an hour away from my bedtime, and the text and the calls and the emails you and I've been getting over the last couple of days, we felt like probably need to jump on and let some folks vent because there's a lot of stuff. What's up?
Did anyone reach out to Andrew Ford and let him know we were going to be on? He messaged me today. I told him in the afternoon, but I didn't give him a time, so I may need to text him.
You probably do need to text him.
Because that brother will bring something to the show.
He's on there. He says, you need me on screen 3. Andrew, send me that email address. Text it to me. Text me his email address.
I don't know his email address. I'm not dating the dude.
You are, dude. You might as well be dating him.
Well, he's my dude. It's my man crush there. Anybody can compress the golf ball like Andrew Ford.
Dude, that is your man crush.
Yeah, it's Andrew Ford.
Let's call it.
Let's call it. It is.
Andrew Ford is your man crush.
That's true.
You like the gingers.
Well, it reminds me of a in-shape leprechaun. So Irish.
Yeah, he is kind of in shape, but he's not a leprechaun. I mean, see how tall he is? You can't be 6'6" and be a leprechaun.
He's huge. Hey, get us that email address, Andrew. We'll get you in. There, Jeff. He put it down there.
I got you. You keep talking.
I did know his email address.
You did? Well, of course you did. Let me put you full screen and let me see if I can get a hold of Andrew.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You got it.
What have I got? A lot of stuff to talk about. From the locally, we can obviously talk about some political races going on right now. The sheriff race is really hadn't heated up yet, but that's out there to talk about. And if you're paying attention on social media, that's getting interesting. Just saying, that's getting interesting. You want to talk about high school football? I'm here for it. Etowah, another coaching search.
Are they meeting today?
Are they meeting today?
Or having
today? I think they interviewed yesterday. I think they interviewed today.
Okay.
I'm not sure how long that's going to go. I don't know what offers have been made or have not been made. I know it's still a very desirable job. To a lot of people's surprise, Jeff, that
I don't think it's not surprising.
The last 3 years, what have they done?
I get it.
I mean, truly, it's not the job it once was.
Right.
And I mean, I'll fist fight you over that, right? I don't care. Well, we're a job. That's still my team, and if I want the best for it.
I sent the invite to Andrew. Andrew, just so you know, when you think you're live, don't cuss.
Hey, this is after hours. He can do whatever he wants to.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it after 6:30? Yeah, it's after 6:30.
Yeah. Then he can come on our next show and apologize for tonight's show.
Jerry.
Just like the next T-Box.
Why are you going to do him like that? That's cold-blooded. Is he on? I hear him.
Don't cuss.
I see him. Hold on a minute, Andrew.
Hey, this is after hours. He can do whatever he wants to.
Oh, wait a minute.
Got to mute it.
It's loud.
Then he can come on.
Jerry, what do you normally say to people that do that?
Nothing.
Nothing. You don't ever say
nothing.
You don't say
I ain't
nothing.
disrespecting Andrew.
You did disrespect me.
How did I disrespect you?
I heard the leprechaun comment.
Hey, that was sent with as much respect as I could muster.
Andrew, turn that camera down a little bit so we can see more of. Can you do that? There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Hey, if I hold up 2 fingers, that means we need ratings. So take your shirt off.
You don't want to see that.
No, man. Leave
Jeff
says
that on. No. Jeff, what's in your cup?
I'm the opposite of a leprechaun in that regard.
Me?
What you drinking, Jeff?
Me?
Yeah.
Just Diet Dr. Pepper. Look here.
Oh, crap. What you drinking, Andrew? What's in your cup?
That's all I got.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I got that Mexican coffee.
He's smiling hard. A little too hard. Don't ask him that.
Yeah, it's Old Forester and a little Diet Coke. It's been a heck of a day.
Bro.
So if you put Diet Coke in the Old Forester, does that cancel out
it does.
The calories? And,
yeah.
You know, my dad used to
it at least makes me feel better.
That's all that matters.
My dad used to tell me he would get a Diet Coke and a Snickers. He would say, son, Go in the store, give me a Diet Coke and a Snickers. I said, why do you need a Diet Coke? He said, it cancels out the calories. So, is that true?
I mean, at least it's not a double transfusion.
Whoa. Hey, we're going to get personal.
Really?
Are we trying to get personal? Hey, what happens on the course stays at the course.
Jason Ellen.
And just at least Jeff has his hat back on today, and he actually looks regular. So,
well, I felt like you were going to come on the show, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put my hat on because Andrew will delete us, Control Alt Delete.
It makes
if
sense.
I don't have it on. Yeah, but Jerry still got his ugly hat on. You ain't saying nothing about that.
This black background's weird. Let me turn the light on.
Oh, he don't have pants on. What's he doing? Cover that up.
Put your pants on.
What are you doing, man?
I have pants on. Thank you very much.
Great. Hey, let's get right into this. This can be just the best of Andrew Ford, but we're gonna throw some questions at you. Not necessarily questions. I just want your true opinion. Maybe not the true opinion, just the live true opinion.
What does that even mean?
What are you thinking about this Senate race?
Oh,
the Senate, this District 10. A lot of talk.
Yeah. Okay. So where to start? First and foremost, obviously, as y'all remember from the Kapow show from a couple of days ago that was so successful. And good job, by the way. I mean, at one point when I was watching, I think there were over 350 live viewers. And considering you're doing it during the workday, that's pretty solid. And then the amount of views that y'all have had after that, and it's kind of hilarious. People still comment on what was a live video days later, which is kind of funny. But I think there were 700 comments. I mean, it was a lot, so very impressed, with the way that y'all's forum is growing, so obviously keep it up. But I think that goes to say how hot a topic this is, and so first and foremost, again, my heart breaks for Jesse, right. Because, the situation that he's been put in is the definition of a difficult one, so, I mean, to say that he's put his time, blood, sweat, and tears into the last 4 months at this point is an understatement, so the guy has done the work, I mean, he is literally everywhere, I mean, he's everywhere and his opponents are nowhere, and so it's, and when you see with your own eyes, like I have, real polling information, and for him to truthfully have a lead and then to walk in one day and just have it ripped out from under you, that's got to be brutal, y'all. Sure. I mean, because he truly feels like he has something, because in my opinion, he does, and so he has resonated with the voters. He has really shown them that he's willing to put in the hard work, and that has been impressive, so I'm super upset for him. I hope the fight continues, according to, Andrew Jones, who messaged me, a couple of days ago, and I asked him to come on y'all's show, and he goes, everyone needs to quit worrying about Jesse because it's final and there's literally nothing he can do. And I'm not going to come on Kapow and debate, a dead topic, is what he said. It's, right. That was disheartening. If I was Andrew Jones, obviously I would be doing everything in my power to get as much word out there, to one, let people know that, hey, I had nothing to do with this, if that's the truth, and then two,
I'm sorry, these comments are great. I don't mean to cut you off. I want you to speak to this one. You can always count on a good topic when he's not busy, from Daniel Harper, right? He's always going in there.
That's true. Yeah.
He says, to be fair, Andrew Jones is busy riding around in his Lambo.
Well,
I think
I mean, hey, man, if you're going to, yeah, if you're going to be photographed in a yellow Corvette, I mean, it's you're opening yourself up to interpretation. Let's just say that.
Sure.
But one of the cool things about politics and running for politics is that when people donate money, it's public record. Right? So, that is something you can't hide from. And one thing that I've been incredibly impressed with is that Jesse has had 0 PAC dollars, and the other 2 have practically only had PAC dollars. So it's that, to me, shows the will of the people, you know, not individual groups who have money set aside that you already know and different things like that. But regardless of that, you know, to put the first question to bed, my heart breaks for Jesse. I don't think the fight's over, but I do think it's going to be difficult, you know,
Right.
because if I was the Senate committee and I had this much, let's just say bad pub, you know, going on, you know, about my decision, it would be very difficult for me to want to pretty much back that up and then say, okay, hey, I was wrong, you know, because it obviously makes it look like we were wrong and that we were either A, bought off, or B, you know, had bad information, you know, or whatever the situation may be. So I do think that's going to be difficult. But what I was telling Jesse too is it was very close to a split vote, you know. So, you know, if there's the ability somehow, you know, to have a additional vote, I would almost guarantee that now that all the real information has been put out there, Jesse's been able to actually respond, you know, to all of the allegations from someone who doesn't even live in our county. You know, it's I do think that would go the other way. I hope and pray that they're going to allow that to happen, but unfortunately for us, they don't have to allow that to happen.
Let me ask you this, Andrew.
Yep.
And with the show that happened last week with Jesse and all the guys that came on, you chimed in and several folks called in. Maybe you can give me a fresh perspective on this. We have heard, Jerry and I have sat in meetings this week with some prominent people that have told us that some of the guys that have chimed in, weighing in for Jesse, have now been alienated from the Republican Party of Alabama, and they are being told, "Hey, your service is no longer needed. We're just going to let you sit on the side over here because you have chimed in." Where does that come from, and what does that stem from?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the information on that. You know, I have very, very little information in regards to that. It wouldn't surprise me, you know, that really is actually going on because, I mean, Democrat or Republican, obviously I'm a Republican, but believe it or not, I'm actually more independent, you know, than Democrat or Republican because, you know, I very strongly am for the best overall candidate. You know,
Person over party.
you know, absolutely. You know, there are, of course, things that I don't agree with the Democratic Party, but there absolutely are things I don't agree with the Republican Party, you know,
Sure.
but if you have to vote, which of course we do, you know, it's a no-brainer, you know. So, but so to answer your question, Jeff, unfortunately, I don't really know, you know, because I'm doing my best because of how much my phone is blowing up, because everyone just kind of assumes that because I did, you know, a good fundraiser for Jesse that I'm involved with this campaign, and I'm truly not. You know, I am an innocent bystander, you know, that said, "Hey, you have my full support. I'm going to do absolutely everything I can, you know, to help you and your family," because I've known Jesse since he was 9 years old. You know, and so it's I know for a fact that he's a good human. I know for a fact, you know, that he's going to be good for our city, you know, or actually, I'm sorry, our county, you know, and so that is why me as a business owner, you know, a lot of people say business owners don't need to put their politics out there, you know, and I could care less, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going after, you know, who is best, you know, in regards to the overall well-being of the county. And so in my opinion, that is someone, you know, like Jesse, you know. So it's I've been very, very fortunate to get to know him and his wife much more over the last couple of years as adults, you know. And I was, when Jesse came into my office after 5 minutes, you know, I knew, I was like, yeah, I need to support this guy, you know.
Do you think it's fear that some of those things were, hey, we got to disassociate, you got to toe the party line? Is that, do you think that's
it
probably
absolutely can be, and it's probably I would doubt, and I'm assuming here, you know, but I would doubt it's your long-term politicians. I would assume it is more of your younger in seat, you know, politicians who are definitely much more prone to sway one way or the other based on information given by someone that either A, has more experience, or B, you look up to. And so C, it makes perfect sense that would happen. And I hate that, but that just goes to show, in my opinion, the importance of the race, because it also goes to show, and again, believe it or not, I actually don't know Andrew Jones that well. I don't agree with definitely with some of his stances on multiple things. I don't agree with a couple of the big kind of key items that have happened over the last couple of years, and so but so from him, from a personal standpoint, I don't have much exposure. I just know that, okay, for me as a business owner in his area, he has never once reached out to me ever, to say, hey, Andrew, you've got a successful business. What can I do to help? What can I do to put our word out there? What is it that ZLA even does? All of the other things, so that is how I was looking at it, and that the fact that Jesse, they say press the flesh, with anyone and everyone, regardless of party line, regardless of, black, white, alien, human, it doesn't matter. That was impressive to me, and so, that is definitely why I'm not going to say sticking my neck out, but, definitely sticking my company out to say, hey, we're behind you. If you've gone by ZLA in the last, 3 months, you'll see a 6-foot large Jesse Battle sign right next to my ZLA solution sign, and so, it's,
That's good.
oh, hey, babe. Yeah, sorry. Kids decided they want to come say hi.
That's all
Heck
right.
yeah, let's put them on.
Yeah, so sorry, Jeff. I couldn't really answer your initial question because I don't have great data behind it, but I can only assume that that's the truth.
I want to talk a little bit about, and we can move on and talk a ton of different things, but the timing of it. After all the money was raised, everything was purchased, all the money was spent at this moment, it just seems like something's wrong with the timeline. Regardless of how it goes, it seems like the timeline of this whole thing is ridiculous.
Well, it 100% was planned. There is no doubt there. So it is proven that it was Amy Minton's best pal. I mean, there's no, and again, that's not speculation. That is, hey, WEIS broke the data and showed everyone in the world that exactly who signed, those forms and the links that they went to, to provide, in their opinion, additional information that warrants what they did. So, it's I hate that because it obviously means, it was staged. One thing that, in my opinion, that really, really, really was crazy that Amy Minton said on y'all's show live was that same person reached out to Jesse just 3 weeks prior and asked him to help on her Republican campaigns. When she said that, I was like, what? I mean, so the whole thing looks ridiculous. I mean, you're going to come on y'all's show and say, hey, I knew nothing about it, but I actually do know that, almost a month ago, she reached out to, Jesse to try to get, because he's such a good Republican leader, to get him to help with me in my job. I mean, that to me was crazy, so, I mean, the timing was obviously staged. It was obviously planned, and it's just, I hate that she was able to convince, because, okay, and sorry to back up, when you have 20 select committee members and not a single one of them is from our area and not a single one of them knows Jesse personally, how on earth can you make a real decision unless you just look at I mean, they looked at a bunch of pictures and they looked at what she said, and took it as gospel. And to me, that's wrong. I mean, it's, how is that able to be binding? But I mean, it's insane to me that the select committee is completely autonomous and is able to operate without oversight.
Almost like the high school association.
Oh, yeah. What's another one? Yeah. What do you think, Matt? Let's stick with Jesse for a minute. I mean, because it is a hot topic. There are thousands of people in our little 2 county area here that are talking about this. What do you think makes him such a great appeal and people that have flocked to him? Because it's really been grassroots. He told Jerry and I in the press box at one of the football games. You remember this, Jerry? Because we were trying. Hey, we want your money. You need to sponsor and campaign on Kapow. And what did he say? What was his quote, Jerry?
I'm doing grassroots.
I'm doing grassroots, right? I don't have really a green.
Then he
campaign
proceeded to stay with us the whole second half and broadcast the game. And we couldn't tell him no. We just loved the kid, right? He was so fun to hang out during that football game. He literally broadcast a second half of a Coosa game with us.
What do you think makes him that appealing to the people in Etowah and Cherokee County?
Well, I think he's just real. I think that you can tell after meeting him, that he's got kind of something about him that is true, and that he really does care, and that he really does have Jerry's, Jeff's best interest in mind when it comes to, okay, what am I going to do in my position of power? What am I going to do, when I'm going to Montgomery and I'm listening to all these guys talk about A, B, and C, it feels comfortable, and so, his background, people think he has no experience, but believe it or not, he really does, I mean, and so that to me, was also, solid. I mean, so I think that he's able to have a conversation with someone who's 20 or someone who's 70, and is able to get on their level to say, hey, I may not know exactly what is best at this exact moment, but I'm going to do the research. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to work for you. And to me, that is why I think so many people, have gone to bat for him. If you look at Andrew Jones' page that he made on that poll the other day, where he said, hey, here's what a fake poll looks like, and and he listed all this stuff. Yeah. Is it not wild? Is it not wild that out of 100 comments, less than 10 were pro Andrew?
I know.
Like his constituents getting on there and being like, yeah, whatever they were going to say. But it's that, to me, says everything it needs to say, because when Jesse put out that thing for a petition, in 24 hours, there were over 3,000 signatures. And I mean, I bet you money 1,500 emails. That's a lot. Yeah. It really is. And that was surprising to me, so I think that he's just got that attitude of, hey, I'm going to do what I got to do for you guys, for the people in my area. And he makes you believe it. It's that simple.
There's a lot of people jumping on here and commenting, and we will get to your comments here in just a little bit. And we do appreciate it very much. And some
don't make promises you can't keep.
Not all of them. I'm not getting back to all of them. Some of them. Some of them. But you made a statement, Andrew, that whether you're our age or from the 20s to the 70s, he resonates. And one of our people, Miss Hawkins, Myra Hawkins, said he's genuine. My stepdad, he's 70, be 78, I think, or 77. And Jesse came in down there with him and the boys down at the storage unit and in Rainbow City, and just hanging out with the guys. A lot of politicians drop in there to eat breakfast in the mornings, and they just fell in love with him because he is genuine. And listen, I'm not saying anything against Amy. That's not what this is about. I'm not even going to mention the other guy's name because he won't come on the show, because preachers can't ask hard questions, and Jerry's a preacher and I'm a preacher, and we're not allowed to do that. But he does resonate, and I think you hit that right on the head. He resonates. He listens to people. He doesn't rush. He's not coming in to get a picture and a photo op. Now, that brother will get a photo. Let's be honest.
The story that Joe Taylor's told was great on the last show. He said, he's at one event and his wife's at another event. He's on the phone with her and said, hey, Jesse's there. And he's like, he can't be. Jesse's right here. Oh, wait.
Right here. Yes.
He's everywhere.
But he doesn't just come in a flash in a pan. He sits down, he takes the time to talk to you and find out what you're about. And I think that's what it takes. I think people are tired of politics as usual and just toeing the line. I think they're tired of it.
I completely agree. I think people are really, I'm not going to say enjoying the local political drama, but it also kind of feels refreshing because it's like, hey, let's hold these people accountable. I mean, hey, let's actually raise some hell. I mean, let's tell these people, that hey, we don't agree, with your findings. I mean, let's sign a petition and have 3,000 people in a day support, this guy. And I mean, hell, there's only 9,000 people in Rainbow City alone.
Right.
So I mean, when you're talking that, I mean, the greater Gadsden area, I mean, just a petition that's only out there on Facebook in 24 hours over, I think it was 3,200 people, took the time to sign it. And then I truly believe it's over 1,000 emails go out, to the people that are in charge. That says enough, so it's I would be very hard pressed. Oh, by the way, did y'all get the random text yesterday?
Yes.
Did y'all get that?
Yes.
The amount of people that are posting on Facebook where they said neither Jesse Battles,
Yes.
is hilarious to me. And there was someone behind the thread because I responded directly with a couple things and they responded to me.
Same thing. That's
they didn't respond back to me.
Well, you can't say what you said on
I was 3 coffees deep, Andrew. I was 3 coffees deep.
3 coffees deep. You're out of control there.
He is out of control.
Hey, a couple comments here. Let's see. Sorry, my lighting's not the best. Lakeland Wade, I don't understand why we have the ability to remove a person off of a ballot based on assumptions and ill-informed opinions. Jesse will get my vote. It's a great comment.
Well, when you have a select committee that, isn't involved in the area and doesn't know the people, that can happen. Unfortunately, not to defend the select committee, but they only have the information they're given.
That's true.
And if they're going to make a decision based off solely one person's, information and then not really, I mean, they wouldn't even let Jesse's wife into the room.
That's crazy.
It is, he wanted to have her up there because she's been, obviously with him the entire time. She can speak to, whatever it is. They were like, well, no, actually, she needs to stay out. And this is that evidently was new. Usually you're able to, have constituents with you, speak on your behalf, stuff like that. So that kind of stunk to me as well.
Well, I think if we research that, we'll find that she has a higher security clearance than probably anybody else in the room.
A much higher IQ, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Goodness.
What was this? Daniel Harper made another comment, Jeff, before you bring him on. I can't. It was something about Daniel was emailing somebody. I can't remember who he said he's emailing, and they finally told him to stop emailing about Jesse.
Wow.
That's great. Go. I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. Do your thing.
No, I'm trying to make sure he's on. Coach, you there? Coach,
I don't see him in the waiting room.
No, he's not there. All right, we'll figure it out. Keep going. That's fine.
I know this is supposed to be a sports show, and I'm sorry I'm talking so much.
No,
it is, but oh my God, we're in trouble.
Did he jump on?
No, it's worse.
Oh,
it's Joe Taylor.
Send me that email.
Joe Taylor's in the chat. I think Joe Taylor's email is, I am the mayor, but my wife is the boss at gmail.com.
That's right. I'm that
No,
mayor.
at rainbowcity.com.
At Rainbow, that's right. At Rainbow City.
Oh my God.
Jeff, you're in trouble. Your wife's on.
She's been on, man. She's down there. She's studying, man. She's starting a new Sunday school class for women Sunday. And she said, I said, I'm going upstairs to be on the show. And she said, I'll just be down here studying. I don't know how she's studying with all this going on.
Jeff, he says he did not get the email.
Well, then he looked at the wrong email. He sent the wrong email address.
He did send the wrong email address. Remember, then I sent the word after it. He told you he misspelled his own email.
Well, that's a problem.
Well, would you like me to tell you what his actual email is?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, his email is mayor@rbcalabama.com.
We'll put them all in there. Let's get it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all keep
You're welcome,
going.
Joe.
Hey, while
Thank
we're
you.
waiting on these two studs to jump on, Andrew, hey, let's talk a little bit about your business, where you're located, and for years, I think most people just think you run a small baseball field.
It's definitely in our side yard.
Sure.
Thank David Chadwick for that. We find baseballs in our side yard constantly from long foul balls. But yeah, no, I own ZLA Solutions, in Rainbow City. We do temp staffing, quality engineering, and inspection. And then we have warehouses in various areas where we do assembly and packaging for, different industries. I mean, we do everything from putting nuts on bolts to, what's called blister packaging, which it's that crap at Lowe's where you can't open it because it's plastic and it cuts your fingers, and it pisses you off really bad. Yeah, so you can blame us, for some of that stuff that's going into Lowe's now, but so we do that as well.
When I think blister packs, I think 1980s baseball cards.
Man,
that's the first thing that pops into my mind.
Come on. We have a gentleman jumping on with us, Andrew, that you may know, and Jerry White. Coach Mark O'Brien is on the program with us tonight. What's up, Coach?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Good, buddy.
Coach O.
Guy, you're looking more and more like Buddy.
I can't see. I have to wear glasses, man.
I wasn't talking about Buddy O'Brien. I was talking about Buddy the Elf.
But whatever. Thanks. I appreciate that.
Either way.
You suck.
Well, people suck up to you all the time and just give you glory and just lift you up. It's people like us, the true friends, Mark, the true brothers that are here to kick you in your nads.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, what's going on in your world?
Man, I'm swamped right now. It's really, really busy time for me right now.
And you're obviously still sick. Don't worry, Andrew. You can't catch it via this.
Yeah, I think I've got the China virus, boys.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
I had it like 2 months ago. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Daniel Harper said he can confirm that Andrew is a pretty daggone good boss.
That's the Daniel Harper that's been commenting?
Yeah.
Daniel always comments.
I love that guy. He worked for us for years. Daniel is an amazing dude.
He's like the number one Kapow dude. Even when I get mad and throw a cup and yell at him, he's still my dude.
He got mad at me one time. Remember that? It was awesome. I put that picture out there of Etowah not having a lot of fans there, and that brother got on me, man. It was bad. It was tough.
It's great.
I'm scared of Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel's a great guy.
Todd O'Brien said no hair.
That's cold, Todd.
Hey, so Mark, let's talk a little bit because Andrew loves ball, but more importantly, Andrew knows ball. So it's right up his alley. Let's talk about Coosa coming off a very successful state championship football run, and now it's on to the next. What's next? What's coming? It's all the preseason stuff. Off-season.
What's coming for
Coosa? Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll be good again. I don't see a problem with that for sure. I really can't. There's so many things going on right now that I really just, unfortunately, I'm unable to talk about it currently. Right. But I believe there's quite a bit of changes that's about to happen. I think for the better. So
that's something you can talk about. You can talk about the school itself. You can talk about. People don't realize, we have two really good Christian schools, three, but two that I'm really familiar with. Westbrook and Coosa Christian. Coosa is just different. Their day-to-day business is just different in the classroom, in chapel. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's truly Christ-centered. I mean, education's important, but I think biblical education is more important for sure. And Julie, and she's the principal, of course, and Jason, the pastor of the church, they've done a really good job of connecting the church to the school, and it is ministry based. The whole thing's ministry based, and it's in really good shape. The teachers are excellent, and everybody's unified. So that helps when everybody gets along with one another.
Sure. And you're teaching a class, and let's not talk about that. Let's talk about you doing chapel. I heard it was really, really good.
I've taught chapel several times. Julia asked me when here and there, she'll ask me to teach, and I teach on Wednesday nights, at my church here, that. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's my favorite thing to do is teach, the Bible in expository form.
Hey,
Yeah,
there you go.
and so I love it. I mean, that's just it's a great thrill for me. And so yeah, I've taught chapel several times. All I do is just proctor a computer class every day is all I do. The kids are kind of on their own pace, and I'm just making sure the class stays quiet and they do what they need to do in the classroom.
Yeah, we got two military men right here with us. Hold on one second. Hey, Jeff, I have one of my youth group young ladies on with us.
I
So
see
we have
Kaylee.
to.
I see Kaylee say hello to Jerry, but she didn't
Yeah,
say hello
Kaylee's
to
because I'm
senior
her
pastor.
youth pastor.
That's right. That's all right.
Hey, so
Well,
let's talk about this from a military point of view of what's going on in the world now. You guys are uniquely able to talk about business. You guys are both business owners. You both come from a military background, and I know
Oh, I
for
didn't know
both,
Andrew was military. Andrew, you may have told me that. I don't remember, man. My memory sucks.
because he
Yeah.
wasn't a SEAL, he doesn't count. Is that what I heard?
No.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
exactly what
I'm
he
not
said.
I'm not a Navy SEAL, so it went in one ear for a Coach O and out the other. But
Sure.
I was one of the guys that I was an MP, and
Okay.
so yeah, it's for me. Unfortunately, I was hurt in officer school after 3 years, and that is what ended my career. But it's the Lord works mysterious ways. So if that hadn't happened, obviously I'm sure I would have deployed multiple times. Who knows
Yeah.
what would have happened? And so I was bitter for a little bit, but I'm thankful now because been able to impact thousands of people with jobs over the last 10 years and really be able to be here for my family, for my kids. So no, but I was a 31 Bravo and it really enjoyed it, and it was absolutely, I would say, the love of my life for as long as I was able to have it, and so it's a funny story though, not to be long-winded, but I went through ROTC and then got out of it, thinking that, oh, I'm a big right-hander who throws, low 90s. I'm gonna go pro and all of that, and that was a joke, So I played, of course, college ball, but never went any farther than that. And so after my wife and I had our second kid, and we had our 54th conversation about me wanting to be in the Army, she literally looked at me and she was like, "If you're gonna go, you go now. But if not, don't talk to me again about it."
That's pretty cool.
And no joke, I went to MEPS a month later, and so we had just had our second child, and I went, and it was kind of crazy how quickly it went. But I went in at 24, and you would think, that's not that old, but I mean, I bet there were only 10 people in Booth that were any older than I was, and so I felt like an old man at boot camp, But no, I finished, number one, in our entire company, and went on to thinking, I was going to do big things, but that is not the case, So unfortunately, got hurt, but it is what it is, So no, I can't speak on anything regarding military like you can, Coach. So I mean, I had a very small sample size, and now, granted, my dad was a colonel. My grandfather was an admiral. My other grandfather, flew in World War II. So my brother Jeff was Special Forces 10th Mountain. So I mean, it's definitely in our blood. But I'm no.
And you may have told me that when we met a few years ago. I don't know. It just kind of slipped my mind. But thanks for your service. I do appreciate that for sure.
Back at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, back at you.
So many comments and hellos and people watching. That Brian Stanfield's watching. What's up, my guy? The Helms family's watching. Coosa royalty. Cody Lassiter.
Cody Lassiter, yeah, the Fowler.
That's a Rainbow City legend.
What about? Do we call him officer or deputy Rowan? He's on. He's talking to.
Well, big as he is, you call him whatever he tells you to call him.
You're right. Come out, work on my
Lauren
air
Fowler.
conditioner. You come out of retirement.
Lauren Fowler. Heck yeah. Hey, Dr. Kurt Keener. That's a dude. I need to make an appointment.
You do need your
Yeah, you ain't got no appointments. You just show up. He'll take care of you.
Hey, listen, Coach, your brother's on, and he I ain't gonna say what he's saying about you, but
Which
you
one,
need
the
to get
dumb
on.
one or the dumbest one?
Look, I cannot answer to that, but I will say Todd, the good-looking
The dumbest one.
one.
Really? You're in Southside Alabama. He's at the beach. That's
Mm.
all I'm saying. He's in
Mm.
Navarre, and you're in Southside.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Sorry about
That's
that.
a fact.
Hey, let's talk about how. Let's stick with the military there for a second. Let's talk about how what you guys learned in the military. I'm sure discipline and those kind of things. Now we got a superstar. Heck
Kevin
yeah.
Stevens.
No, I
What's
was
up,
talking about
buddy?
the pup.
Oh, oh, there's the baby. Look at
Yeah,
him.
there's one
Oh
of
my
two of them.
gosh.
He's obsessed with Jerry. When Jerry came, he grabbed Jerry by the arm to my and walked him all the way through my office and was showing everybody that Jerry existed. It was pretty funny.
It was, it's the
You know
only
what
fan
that
I
was.
have.
Yeah.
You know what
I
that
smelled
was?
like beef jerky.
Security. Yeah,
I
exactly.
smelled like beef jerky. That's what it was, probably.
Show them your new sponsor for the Jerry White Show. That's what you
Oh,
smell
right here,
like.
new sponsor
Yeah.
coming up for the Jerry White Show. It's going to be really cool. How about a little
Jack Links. Baby.
Jack Links, beef jerky, and chili? So, Andrew, I got you.
How did you pull that off?
Well, I got a good friend. What did he say? I eat so much product.
It's product. Yeah, right.
I'll tell you off air, but it's a pretty cool story coming. A serious conversation just for a second, which I don't expect we're going to have too many serious conversations with this bunch. Talk about what military did help you as far as your business goes. You're both very one thing in common from being around you guys for a long time. You're very disciplined when it comes to your business.
You go, Coach.
Oh, okay, for sure. I mean, the SEAL teams taught me really, I don't want to, misplace my family's significance or anything else is significant, but the SEAL teams just taught me, the key to never quitting. And I know Andrew will relate to this. I think owning a business is the hardest thing I've ever done. Just because of the peaks and the valleys and the goods and the bads. And the SEAL teams just taught me. Whoa.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. And, you just, a lot of times, most of the time in life, you'll win if you just don't quit. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. If you just never quit, if you just keep getting back up, you'll eventually win. And I think a lot of times, and this is what the SEAL teams really taught me, was you only quit when you die. And so, and then that's in all aspects of your life, no matter what the situation is. And so, quitting is just not an option. Failure is not an option. It's okay. It's okay to, stumble and have adversity. Adversity is a healthy thing. It's not a bad thing. And people links adversity with failure, and that's where they make their mistake. And so I think adversity grows you. And if you can fight through all that adversity, at some point and some time down that line, you'll come out on top. And so I think that's the greatest thing the SEAL teams gave back to me was that.
If he hadn't had that attitude, Andrew, his wife would have never said yes to marry him. He never quit. He kept trying.
Yeah, true that. No, for me, it was I would say that just the discipline portion. It's I of course had multiple family members who had prepared me for what I was going to go into, at boot and other things like that. But until you're actually really there and you experience the every second of your day planned out, timed out, and frankly, you can't fail. And if you do, you'll get what's called recycled, to where you have to go all the way back through it and stuff like that. That to me, was scary enough. But, I will say this, and this is kind of an interesting answer. What it taught me was how much I really actually loved my family. Because, you don't realize how out of pocket you get when all of a sudden, for a fact, you're not going home anytime soon, and so especially when you have little kids and you have a wife, you have other things, you're not allowed a cell phone, you get like a 5-minute call once every 2 weeks. It was, that I'll never forget going through. And I know, Coach O'Brien remembers this, going through what's called reception. And it's when you get off the bus, just like in the movies, you know, and the drill sergeants are right there and they immediately start, you know, hazing you, you know. And I remember laying in bed that very first night, and I'm like, I made the wrong decision. You know, this is not for me. You know, this is crazy. You know, why on earth did I think that I wanted to do this? And then day 2 got a little easier. Day 3 got a little easier, you know, and then day 4, it was like, all right, let's go, you know. And so it was, and I do think I had it a touch easier by being a little older going in than instead of an 18-year-old, you know, and, you know, piss and vinegar, you know, and I'd already been in the workforce a little bit, you know, already had kids and stuff, but it definitely taught me the discipline that it takes, I think, to weather the storm, you know, because, you know, I don't have a problem saying, you know, our first 8 years at ZLA we were very fortunate, you know, and then in the last year and a half with, you know, tariffs and with electric vehicles coming out and absolutely failing, you know, I mean, our business, you know, went from almost 700 employees to 300, you know, I mean, you know, so it's obviously that is a drastic change, you know, and so, but it's, you know, I would say if I didn't have, you know, some of that in me, it would have been really easy to throw in the towel, you know, and, you know, really easy to accept defeat and say, okay, well, let's do something different, you know. But kind of exactly like what Coach O said, you know, you can't accept failure. You got to persevere. You got to keep pushing forward. And that's what we've done, you know. So I'm incredibly fortunate to have my dad work for me, who, like I said, is a retired colonel, who, you know, brings that discipline, you know, to our corporate office. And then my brother Jeff, who's, you know, the SF veteran, who also manages our warehouse. I mean, you know, even my father-in-law works, you know, at ZLA, and he was a paratrooper. You know, one of our senior account managers, you know, was a Force Recon Marine. You know, it's, you know, so we're centered around that mentality. And so it's, it definitely rubs off on people. And I think that we actually have multiple customers that we may have been a touch more expensive, or we may have been, you know, whatever the situation may be, but they went with us because of that veteran owned and operated tag. And so, and they know that what comes with that is a touch more than you're getting with a regular, you know, Joe. So, sorry, that was a long-winded answer.
No, hey, but before we move on to something else, we have to ask, how is my favorite Ford, your brother?
Oh, Jay Bird is wonderful. You know,
that's a dude, man.
Yeah, he you know, 3 weeks ago he had his 4-year cancer-free
that's awesome.
meet and greet with his oncologist, and it's just it's pretty amazing. You know, so I strive every day to be as happy as that guy. I mean, you know, when you walk in somewhere and someone stands up, and that, you know, when you can't hide the real smile, it's like not that kind of fake, like, oh, I see Jeff, you know, you know, but like when I see Jerry, it's like, oh man, you know, so you know, yeah, you know, it's truly, I just love being around him, you know. So I mean, it must be a weird feeling, you know, to know that you're, I mean, just not, let's just say, not swayed by anything outside other than your little bubble.
Not, you know? Fake. Not fake.
Yes, definitely not.
He's real. And my favorite time when we spent 3.5 hours together a few months ago, me and you and Jerry, and we won't mention other people's names, but you know, those guys. But the video you showed us, it just, man, he is a pure soul, and I wish everybody could be like that. What an inspiration! Just
I appreciate you asking about him, Jerry.
Yeah, Jeff and I talk about him all the time. We bring that up, man. But he's just, there's very few people like that in the world, and the world would be so much better off if there was more Jay Birds. Huh?
You better watch where you park too, Andrew. That's all I got to say.
That's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth.
Hey, get back in these comments. You guys have a question for these two gentlemen? I promise you, these guys are not scared to give you an answer. I don't know about this one. Hello. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
don't read that
Yeah, I'm
one.
sorry, I can't
If
read
you're
that
on
one, but
YouTube, don't look at that.
yeah,
I'll delete
sorry
that
about that.
now.
That's an interesting. Hello, I wasn't thinking about going down that path.
No, well,
Not the first time it's came
now
up.
you if when you bring up orientation with Coach Mark O'Brien on, his buddies get very uncomfortable. So we'll just put that one out there. Just delete that.
I got a random question, Jerry.
Yes.
Who's going to be the next Etowah football coach?
It's a great question, and I'm gonna bring Mark in to talk about that.
Oh, are you?
You got the insight, yeah. Who's the
I've
next
got the insight. Those guys ain't calling me Bubba. I can tell you that. So,
well, here's I gotta be careful what I say and what I don't say with this one, because I know several of people that's been interviewed, and I have information that obviously I just can't talk about because I was asked not to, so I can't break that confidence. But let me just say, by the amount of applications that were turned in, by the amount of people that applied, it's still a job that's coveted. It's still a job that people want. It's lacking in a few areas if from the outside looking in. Hey, it's not what it used to be. The talent's not there. Look, a talent is going to have talent. You just look at the Pee Wee football program. You look at the middle school football program. There is talent there. Now, what do you got to do to keep the talent? That's a great question. I know a couple former Blue Devils. I say former. Once a Devil, always a Devil. They have talked to, and this is. And I put out a post not too long ago. I think this is the most important hire that Etowah High School football has ever had to make. It's that important to the future of the program. And Matt Miller, so you want to be a superintendent? Here you go. Here you go, right at it. But but his dad was a fantastic principal. Man, he understands the game and
superintendent.
Superintendent, and I think Matt's gonna do a very, very, very good job. But I say that my faith in him. I think the leadership there has to get this one right.
They just got. I'm sorry. I think they need to be. I think they need to be very. I'm pulling for them. I hope they hire the right guy.
Sure.
The thing I think Etowah is fighting is the same thing Coosa fought for years and years. And like many programs, when they struggle, they start playing next man up game. And what you do, you lose continuity. And so you're really shooting buckshot at a target, hoping something hits. And a lot of times, in my opinion, again, they're not going to call me, and it's okay. But I think a lot of times, your answer could be right in front of you if you just search hard enough. Like they've got a coach on that staff, very close friend of mine.
Yeah, you're talking about Coach Roach. There's no question
That guy is as good on the grass, as any coach that's walked in the halls of Etowah. I don't know if they've hired him. I don't know if he's put in for. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I would have a conversation with the guy.
When it comes to offensive football, Mark, and understanding, he's legit.
He is. I'm telling you, he is really, 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 really good. And the kids, they always played hard for him. And so, and I don't know if Daryl's the right answer or not. It's not my decision to make. I'm just saying, like, you need continuity when you start, just hiring one guy from the Northwest, the next guy from East, the next guy from the South. There's no continuity. And when you're low on talent at the moment, it magnifies the problem times 10. And so
8 wins in 3 years.
Yeah.
It makes me want to throw up. Right. I love that program. 8 wins in 3 years.
Do you think, Coach O'Brien, that Etowah County football is better when Etowah High School and Gadsden City, not to mention Coosa, we know what you guys have done the last 5 years. But do you think it's better for our county and our area for Etowah High School to be back to where they used to be?
So that's let me analyze it. Let me say this. Maybe not, but here's what I'll tell you. The state of high school football in Etowah County is the worst I've ever seen it.
Okay.
Fair.
And I am like I love this county so much, and Jerry knows I'm a absolute high school football junkie, and I love my state so much, right? Like so much. And I've never seen high school football in this county this bad.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and it's a crying shame, and it really does break my heart.
So let's ask this question, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback, Jeff. What is the main reasons you're seeing that? And I mean, you're a coach. You've been doing it a long time. You understand it. Well, what is the reason?
I think there's multitude of reasons. Okay, now you're about to get me in a bunch of trouble.
Hey, let me
I'll
pause real
stop you.
quick.
I'll
Let me
stop you.
pause real quick. There is a warning out just for people in our viewing area. Golf size hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds up until about 8:30 tonight. So if you're watching, and there's a bunch of you on YouTube and Facebook, so just keep that in mind. We've got a warning for Etowah County, 60-mile-an-hour winds, golf ball size hail until about 8:30. So just want to thank my wife, and she's Ellie Span Underwood. So
Right, I just got the alert
that.
from the Etowah County app.
Yeah,
You go download the app.
Day app. All right, go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead, Mark.
So
I'll stop you before you get in trouble. I
I
promise.
mean, you asked me the question. I'm gonna give
Yep.
you an answer, my honest answer. um, Number one, and I'm not saying because the football program's bad, this is bad. I'm saying as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
administrations are so bad right now. And I'm not saying it's one school. I'm not saying it's all the schools. I'm telling you, soft football has rose to the top, and they're not. And and I think administration sometimes put pressure on the coach not to coach the kids hard.
Okay.
Okay. And I think that's some of the problem. The kids in Etowah County are super, super, super soft right now. Okay. It's very, very soft football. And it's not a knock on nobody struggling or nobody doing good. I'm telling you my experiences from watching the footballs in the 80s and the 90s when Etowah County was the cream of the crop in the state. Our
Sure.
kids in our county was extremely tough kids. And I don't see that right now. Another thing is funding. Okay. Birmingham finally figured it out when Etowah County was kicking Jefferson County's rear end in football year in, year out at any classification. Jefferson County stepped up to the plate, and of course, the Hoover school systems and the Thompson school systems, and so on and so forth. They started paying these coaches what they're worth instead of paying them 1970s pay.
Mm.
Another thing is facilities. The facilities in this county is dilapidated at best. You can go look at some of the higher end schools, and you'll see the facilities. And so, that's just some of the reasons,
Yeah.
right? But there's multitude. The number of coaches, the number of coaches shouldn't be the same at Southside as it is at a smaller Etowah County school. That don't make any sense to me. Coaching supplements, horrible. It's terrible, and you're not going to get high end quality coaches making $4,000 supplements when they can go to Hoover and get a $25,000 supplement. They're not going to do that.
What's that
You
supplement
know,
at Pell City?
it,
I will move
it,
on.
it would be. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be in the $20,000 to $30,000 range.
Hey, let me
And
ask
that,
you
and by
this,
the way,
Coach. Go ahead.
that's more than the head coach at an Etowah County school system makes. I would
There,
bet you.
there is a ton of people that would agree with you, and
Yeah.
let me play devil's advocate, right? Because
Yep.
you and I are like that, right? And
Yep.
Jerry's like that, and I'm sure Andrew's the same way. We'd look at things from both perspectives. You
Andrew's
got a
probably
lot of people.
worse.
Yes, right, right. Well, he can hit an 8-iron like 100 yards further than we can, so we'll give him
Yeah, I
that.
know Andrew's a good golfer.
He is good, incredible. But what would you say to the people that say, "Hey, you're paying all these coaches all this, but
Yep.
what about these teachers? What about these people?" And you're an educator. We know that. Everybody knows that. And if they don't know you, they should know you're an educator. Where's the fine line? Because you got guys that programs, Pell Cities and Hoovers and Thompsons that are bringing in multiplied thousands of dollars on Friday nights and during the week. And where is that for teachers? I mean, teachers are running. They're trying to retire as quick as they can in Alabama to get to Georgia or somewhere else and get on another line, get their 25 or 30 in. and go to work somewhere else, because the education system in our country is crap, because we
Yep.
can't correct kids anymore. We can't we can't discipline children anymore. And if you're not a football player, or if you're not an athlete, you don't really matter in the school systems anymore. What would you say to that? You're a
I would
coach
say
and an educator.
I would say that's absolutely some of it's true, some of it's false. I would say the if you're not an athlete, you don't matter. I don't buy into that mantra. I think that's just a victim mentality.
Yeah.
That's my own personal opinion. As far as these schools that are paying these coaches the money they're paying, they've got enough pride in their community and within the communities, their school system, which is their kingpin, and they've invested heavily into that. And Coach Gross told me something that blew my mind several years ago when he first took Clemson, and I was up there and I was at John's house, and John says, "You know what they call Clemson, Mark?" I said, "No, I don't." He said, "They call it Dabonomics." I said, "What do you mean
Right.
Dabonomics?" Yeah, and I think I told Jerry this story.
Mhm.
So when Dabo took Clemson, there was about 15,000 kids that went to that school. Right now, there's north of 40,000 kids going to that school.
Sure.
And so they made a business decision. Clemson made a business decision to invest inside that football program, and they bet on it growing, just like Alabama did with Saban. All right, and so you take well, I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but you've got to invest if you want a good return. And Andrew, I know, believes this business wise. If you want a good return, you got to take calculated risk, and the calculated risk has got to have good leverage weighing on your side. Okay, and so we know good football brings in people. We know that this state loves football, and so I think that philosophy works. It's always worked in this state. And so I think that's my answer to that, really.
Well, I don't think that's a bad answer. And the reason I asked that question is because some people need to look at it from the point of view is that good football teams bring in revenue, and that can
Yes.
disperse and help
Yes.
other parts of the school. So it's a great answer, and it's one
Hey,
that
Jeff, let me say this
yeah,
too. I don't mean to cut
yeah.
you off.
No, you're
Yes, you
good.
do.
Every team I've ever had to say I've been on a successful team with, there's a correlation in the school year with the kids. The morale of the school is 100 times better. And I don't know why this is the case. I'm just telling you my experience. When the school has a good football team, the morale of the school is always good.
I would believe
And
that.
the discipline problems go way down.
Yeah.
When the program is struggling, discipline tends to go up. I don't know why that's the case. I don't know if it's just a coincidence that I've just happened to be at these places when we were good. We had little to no discipline problems. And
Hmm.
so I do want to add that in.
Yeah, great comment by Dr. Keener. He says soft football. I mean, if you're not doing bull in the ring or Oklahoma drills, are you really practicing?
Oh, Lordy, Lordy. I'm not commenting on that, Jerry.
You can't.
Don't,
No.
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. No, 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 no.
Let's see. So, hey, this is a great, interesting comment. It says the Etowah County Board of Education head coaches make $9,000 a year
There you go.
supplement if they are also the AD.
There you go.
Hmm.
Like,
Well, I saw something just the other day online about the University of Alabama, and it goes in direct correlation with what you're talking about. It listed every single sport, okay, all sports. It was everything from football to gymnastics, and only football and baseball made money.
I saw that
Right.
article.
So that's crazy considering that was men's, women's, all sports, everything.
Yeah.
Granted, football, was I think 70 million for Alabama, and baseball was like 4 million, and then every single other sport, basketball included, which I thought was interesting, because of how many home games they have, and and Alabama usually packs the stadium,
Sure.
but still lost money. So I mean, it just goes to show the importance of a good football team, and not necessarily a good football team, but a good football program.
mhm.
and so no, I completely agree, especially because that has to trickle down to high school. I mean, heck, look at Westbrook, for instance. I mean, and how much they've invested into the stadium, into the turf, into the field house and all of that stuff. I mean, it makes sense. There are a couple thousand people every Friday night. So
whose facilities are better than that, Andrew? Who has better facilities than Westbrook?
Come again?
Who has better facilities than Westbrook?
Oh, shoot. Gadsden City, maybe.
No, I don't think so.
I don't either. I don't think so.
I mean, they're 6A large schools. I mean,
Yeah.
I went to a Thompson game a couple years ago, and
Sure.
Thompson has, Thompson looks like a college.
Yeah.
They got that Nick Saban money.
Right.
Yeah, they do. But I mean, shoot, like the public schools in Huntsville, they play at Milton Frank. I mean, Milton Frank's in the middle of a parking lot. It has the locker rooms are atrocious. I mean, the field's great, and the stands are big, but other than that, that's it. It's not the same feeling of being able to walk out behind your school and there's your football field too.
Right.
So it doesn't give you a feeling of loyalty to the stadium, and to the area.
Is there anything better than Friday nights back in the 80s, guys, all of y'all, than walking I was a Litchfield guy, okay, but is there any more electric atmosphere than being on a Friday night at Murphy Stadium when Gadsden High walks in on a home game against Litchfield or Emerson
or Etowah
Murphy Stadium?
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lot of those games. They had to bring the bleachers in for those Carnell Jimmy Williams matchups.
Oh my God.
I remember when Carnell was a senior and we had to park almost a mile away, and walk up. And I mean, it was standing room, of course, only. And it was just the most electric atmosphere I've ever been to for almost any sporting event, other than.
Let me pose this to all three of you guys. Why is it so hard? And the association has thrown some new regions together where we have to, that it seems like these schools don't want to play each other anymore.
Seems like that.
Can we speak to that? I mean, Coosa Westbrook, obviously this year, it's going to happen.
They're forced to do that.
Forced to do it. But it used to be, I'm talking even after the old Charity Bowl, right? That was great,
Sure.
where those things happened in Charity Bowl back in the day. But you're talking about, you wanted to play, from an Etowah standpoint, you wanted to play the rest. You want to play Gadsden and Emma Sansom, and that's who you wanted to play. South for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing like I love the Battle of Highway 77 now. I think that's great and I'm excited about the new Rainbow City High School coming. That's a different show. That's a different show.
Yeah.
No, Andrew, it's coming.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
What year?
Within the next 3
to 5.
There's no way.
Okay.
It's gonna happen.
Well,
Are they going to be their own school system?
No.
See, I don't think that helps the situation personally. I think
when you got 60% of you got 60% of the high school, 65 to 70% of Southside High School coming from Rainbow City.
It's that much?
Yes.
Oh yes, it is. Yeah.
But the problem lies again. It's going to be buried. It's another school in the county system. It's going to be buried in the same problem that we outlined earlier, where the schools that are prospering right now are the private schools, right, which is their own school system, and the city schools, which is their own school system. Those are the ones that has separated from the county school systems because of what we talked about earlier, what I outlined earlier. So you throw another school in the Etowah County system, I don't see that doing anything, to be honest with you.
Do you guys
Southside would go down to like 2A?
2A, 3. Well, the way it is now, it would be 2A. Yeah.
Wow.
And when I said confirmed,
Jerry, let me ask you this question: do you guys think it was better? And this is for you three, for high school football, when you had Gadsden High School, you had Emma Sansom, you had Litchfield, you had Southside, you had Etowah, you had these rivalries, Hoax Bluff and Glencoe. Now you've got Gadsden City that's got to go out of town and compete with the Thompsons or the Hoovers and all Lee and all these guys. It was better. You guys got to tell the truth and shame the devil. The high school football was better in the 80s and the early 90s than it is now.
It's not close.
Yeah,
I agree.
no way.
It's not
I mean,
close.
Right.
well, Jeff, you just led into something that I wanted to bring up, and I'd love to have Coach O'Brien's opinion on this because it affects him just like it does, Westbrook. But I can't wait to hear this answer. What do you think of what's going to happen next year with the area changes? I mean, I'm actually not as worried about football because it's on Friday nights. But what on earth is it going to do to baseball, basketball when you've got Mars Hill? Muscle Shoals, all these all these schools that are over 2 hours away from us. How on earth are we supposed to expect high school kids to go to Mars Hill on a Tuesday night and play baseball doubleheader? I mean, school.
Andrew, you're 1,000% correct, and I think the problem hasn't even begun yet. And I think in 2 years, I believe in 2 years there's going to be a lot of buyer's remorse.
For sure, there has to be.
This is not. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. And
you know what's ridiculous is one of like Westbrook and Coosa's away games is each other, and they're 3 miles away. But yet, they've got to go to Mars Hill, like I said, Mars Hill, Muscle Shoals, Whitesburg. We're talking, those are long ways away. And football isn't that big a deal because it's a weekend. But, baseball is known for playing during the week, as is basketball.
Softball.
And
volleyball.
You think about softball and volleyball, all the others. So you're talking an area game, which has importance on a Tuesday night in Muscle Shoals, and you've got to be at school the next morning.
Yeah.
What is that going to do for attendance? What is that going to do for, test scores? It's, I don't know. These kids are now going to really and truly have to act like college athletes to play high school sports.
Yep.
That's right.
And that's a lot.
You're 1,000% correct. And Andrew, trust me, in 2 years, watch what happens.
Oh, it's going to go back. It'll have to.
This is not going to work at all.
Well, Coosa is so good too that forcing them in a private school, grouping is insane. Y'all are traveling all dang over the place last year and beating up on everybody with 15 freaking players. Think about about y'all having a full roster. And what your Max Long kid is what, a sophomore going into his junior year?
Right.
Yeah.
That kid is the definition of a stud. And think about what he's going to be next year and then the next year. It's y'all's football team is only going to continue to grow and y'all are going to get better, but then you're forced to play private schools. And I'm really upset about what it's going to do to the potential playoffs and how it's going to make those athletes that want to maybe come to Coosa, or Westbrook, feel like, okay, well, my state championship won't mean as much.
And I believe that, you make a great point right there. And I believe there's a group of people that is trying to promote exactly what you say. What you're saying right now is trying to make that state championship be any less. And that's sad to me.
Agreed.
A state championship is a state championship is a state championship. And for people to even say that, say it?
I said they're making it to where it's not now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. They're doing it.
Yep. So, I think Andrew, it's like you've coached high school football before, buddy. Because you see a lot of things.
I put in for the Etowah job, and I didn't get a call back. So.
Well, you misspelled Etowah on the application.
That's the problem.
That's why you got kicked out.
You're out.
Adela High School.
Adela. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. We got Jeff. I just sent you over. Somebody else is gonna jump on real quick. Hey, look.
Okay.
And you're talking about this, Lindsay Lane.
Yeah.
Isn't that Athens?
I think so.
Bro,
Andrew, and here's the bad thing with that, right? I've already talked to their coach. They're dressing basically 8th and 9th graders out.
They didn't have a team last year.
No,
years, right?
Like what? You're dressing 8th and 9th graders out.
In your area?
Yes.
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 Hey,
on.
Andrew,
With us and Mars Hill.
Let me give you the region, if I can. Let me give you the region here, Andrew. I know you've seen it, but just top of mind awareness here. This. I'm sorry, I was on the wrong program here. Hold on. This
We
region
picked
again,
them
Westbrook and Coosa and Mars Hill, obviously the three predicted to top the region. But you got Coosa, you got Decatur Heritage, Lindsay Lane, Mars Hill, Shoals Christian, Westbrook, and Whitesburg Christian.
Jeez, is Whitesburg as good at football as they are at basketball? Because they
no,
beat
they're
the
not.
crap
But
out of Westbrook basketball.
Yeah.
Mars Hill beat them in the playoffs last year, 70-14.
Right.
But they made the playoffs.
70-14.
Yeah.
Good God. Okay.
Why did
Very
you,
glad
why
that
do
didn't
you
happen
feel
in
like you have
Cherokee
pride
County.
in your voice
My
when you
God,
said
you
that,
get
Jerry?
kicked out.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Jeff?
I said Jerry had pride in his voice when he said that.
He did.
Hey, the interesting fact, you know whose kids go to Whitesburg Christian,
Okay.
don't you?
Okay. We do.
Okay.
We do.
I don't.
Do you not? Jeff, you want to enlighten him?
No.
Yeah, please.
Ainsworth.
Will Ainsworth.
Oh, I knew that. I did know that. Yeah.
That's a future guest. You can't. Mark O'Brien said that, by the way. Coach O'Brien.
I knew that.
Okay, good. You win.
I knew that. That wasn't a guess. I knew that.
And that's why the association put him in that region. Come talk to
Jack
us, not
Joseph
us.
is texting us right now. That's funny. Good stuff. Oh my gosh.
Let's see.
We got a guest fixing to join us here in just a minute, guys.
And business is about to pick up.
It's about to pick up. And I'm fixing to put us on a 5-second delay. Just so you know.
No, we're after hours. We're good.
Oh, we good? I don't have to do that? Okay. Well then all right.
I'm calm. Okay. I'm fine.
And I'm disappointed to be fair.
I'm a little sad. You did get up, but I think you were tucking your kids in. I thought you would get up to get something else to drink.
I was refilling my drink.
That's sure you were.
Glory to a mighty God.
We've got Presbyterian, we've got Calvinist, we've got Southern Baptist, we got Methodist in here. I don't know what's going on in this show. We've got all kinds of things.
Jeff, will you resend that email? Say you didn't get it.
Okay. Well,
who are we bringing on?
Tell him to check his junk bin. That's where I found mine.
Yeah, check your junk bin, Coach, because I typed it in right. I thought I did. Anyway, let me do it again.
Hey, Jeff, we got some Facebook comments that are saying they can barely hear you, so you may want to.
Yeah, that's why I took my headphones out. Can you guys hear me fine?
I can hear you fine now.
I hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
My Bluetooth went out, and because I was trying to listen, because I can't hear real well. So
it's Scott Coley talking that trash.
That's Scott is always. He didn't bring me no chips, no nothing. God, freaking Coley. Coach, I need you to reprimand him, would you?
Oh, I will. Absolutely, I will.
Hey, Georgie said, let's talk about tacos.
Okay.
Hey, let's do it.
Georgie's mad that we're not in the Capal or the Georgie Cantillano studios.
Y'all need Las Brisas to be a sponsor so we can all go there on Tuesday nights and have Taco Tuesday.
Hey, I was going to read Kevin Stevens, but Kevin Stevens is just bitter that I made that comment about the new school system, so we're not going to talk about him.
Right.
If he would have won the election, then we would have not done it.
Why are you doing like that?
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah.
I got the goat with me.
Which one? You got Cobb? He's got Cobb in the house.
Oh, look at him. That's a good boy.
Oh, dude, Cobb is a complete idiot. he's much like Mark's male children.
Okay.
I'm not wrong.
He's a mess, I'll tell you that. He's a German short hair pointer, Andrew, and he's on crack.
He'd be best friends with my dog, Nasty Boy. Trust me.
Kevin Moore just showed up.
Kevin Moore.
Yeah.
Coach, I sent it again.
In the comments.
Check it and see. Check your junk mail there.
Hey, so what else can we talk about quickly while we're waiting for this guest to really pick up business? Hey, let's talk about this. Tennessee now allows you to a one-time free transfer.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Really?
I think it's smart. Let a kid go where he wants to be happy, man.
Well, why would we treat high school athletes different than we treat college athletes? To me,
Yeah.
that makes no sense.
Three.
And Mark, your thought on that and NIL? I think it's a direct correlation. Well, Southside lost a kid to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yep.
A very good player.
Yeah, Rance was a stud.
It's going to continue to happen until this, whether we like NIL, I said this like 2 or 3 years ago, Jerry, whether we like NIL or we don't like NIL, it doesn't matter because this thing's not stopping. So if you don't like it, tough. If you like it, tough. Here's the facts, though. We can continue to fight this, and we'll continue to lose our athletes to other states. For what reason? The inevitable is going to occur.
Yep.
Sooner or later, they're finally going to, something's going to click in their brains that they got to pass it. So why are we waiting? It's going to happen. You can't stop it. Even, I believe, Mississippi has passed it.
Good Lord. Mississippi's ahead of us. We're struggling.
Okay.
Hey, let's talk about this though quickly. I don't think, Mark, people understand NIL in and of itself is not pay to play. Two totally separate things. Talk about that.
I can give you a really good example. There's a particular kid in Alabama where he was offered Leaf trading cards. You guys may have heard of the trade.
Okay. The kid. Yeah.
Okay. We're not going to talk about who the kid is or anything like that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But so Leaf trading cards said, "Hey, look, so and so, we will pay you $1 million a year if you'll come to this high school that has passed NIL."
Right.
Okay. The school wasn't paying his NIL. The local Ford dealership wasn't paying his NIL. It was a Leaf card company willing to pay his NIL. And that's all it was. Now, the kid eventually said, "No, thank you. I'm going to stay." But that's why we're losing kids right now. These conglomerate companies like a Leaf or maybe a Tops or a whatever, right? I'm just using them as examples. They're the ones that's anteing up and paying them.
Right. Well, let's talk this. That is a specific family, though, who did not need that money. But you're talking about families who are in, situations where they're barely paying the power bill and buying groceries. Right. If a kid gets an opportunity to do this, Andrew, I don't see. I personally don't see the issue in it.
I'll tell you right now, when I was playing high school baseball, if a school had come to me within driving distance per se, or even maybe a little farther and said, "Hey, I'll give your family $100,000 and I'll pay for you to come here and, pay for your lodging and things like that, for you to come to school," I'd have been like, "Where do I sign up?"
Right.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it wouldn't have had anything to do with how much I loved Westbrook at the time. It would have been like, that's $100,000. I mean, think about this, guys. The average person, let's just go with Etowah County, 98.6% of people in Etowah County don't make $100,000.
Right.
So now you're telling me a high school junior is offered more than 98.6% of working adults to go play high school football. It'd be hard to not want to do that for your family.
That's right.
I mean, so I don't blame them one bit. I mean, yes, has NIL destroyed college football, in my opinion? Absolutely. But is it amazing the amount of money now that college kids are actually able to make? And I mean, oh my God, think about that goob at, Miami, who Carson Beck, who isn't going to come close to making $6 or $7 million a year in the NFL, especially in the first couple of years, got that to go play at Miami. I don't blame him for staying another year one bit.
Guys, we're bringing on Coach Skylar Ray. Andrew, continue. But Coach Skylar Ray, what's up, buddy? He's
How are y'all?
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Go ahead, Andrew.
No, I was pretty much done. It's just, in my opinion, NIL has changed some things for the better, but definitely for the worse. But it just, I'll say this as an Alabama fan, for instance, I went from always knowing who played on both sides of the ball, and being able to look at a number and tell you exactly who that player was, to now, in truth, I don't get invested because I feel like, hey, by next year it's going to change anyway. So I now, half the times when I'm watching a game, I'm like, oh, that guy caught the ball. Who the heck is that? I mean, because I'm just not deep down as invested, because I know that, 60% of those guys are going to be on a different team next year. That's a weird feeling as a fan.
Hey, let me interrupt real quick. We are in the middle where I'm at in Tillis and Bend. So if we drop, everything's hubbed from here. So if we drop, we appreciate you guys being on and all of you guys watching and all of our sponsors. So if we drop off, it's just because hopefully our house wasn't hit. The power just went off. So let's keep going. Go ahead, Andrew.
God's wrath.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Next question.
That being Southside.
Let's bring Skylar Ray. And Skylar, we're talking a little bit about just ball in general. We're talking NIL deals. We're talking just the state of high school football. And the point was made by Andrew, and Mark O'Brien's on with us as well, that and you made this statement to me over the phone a long time ago. And when you were on the show, it's not a true state championship anymore. It's a public school and a private school. And that's kind of what's your opinion?
Well, I mean, my opinion is based off my time spent coaching and playing in high school football. As a player, I really didn't care who we were going to play. I just, I was going to do the best I could, and I felt like my teammates were going to prepare, and our coaches were going to get us prepared. And I've never really had a role where my opinion was needed or wanted or really even asked for a whole lot. But I'll give you an example. In 2008, we were 14-0 in the North, and we beat a really good Deschler team.
You're talking about Cherokee County.
Talking about Cherokee County.
Yeah.
We beat a really good Deschler team, and we had a really good football team in 2008. Unbelievable coaches, unbelievable players, arguably the best. Well, it's not even an argument, in my opinion. Cody Blanchard was the best quarterback to ever come through Cherokee County, and I mean he was unbelievable. But his supporting cast was great, and we go to Tuscumbia and play a Deschler team back when nobody went to Deschler and was successful. And we managed to beat them to go 14-0 in the North, and got beat 41-0.5 by Terry Curtis and UMS Wright in the state championship game. But as bad as that feeling was in 2008 when we got beat by a private school, I mean, that feeling was awful. And as bad as it hurt, the next year after going 15-0 and beating Jackson, it just made it that much better. And, our rings say state champions. It doesn't say public school state champion. And to me, it's like Ric Flair always said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I mean, I don't think you're getting the same, like Major League Baseball. You got the AL champion and the NL champion, and they play.
Sure.
And AFC, NFC, SEC plays Big 10, Big 12, whatever. I just think it kind of diminishes the value in calling yourself a state champion. Like last year at Collinsville, we won the state championship in soccer. We beat a really good private school to do it, and those kids, can walk around and say they're the state champion. And that's just my opinion. I don't think the recruiting that gets brought up every time you bring up private schools. I mean, I've always been a public school guy, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that recruiting don't go on in other places. I mean, is that fair that they can recruit and we can't? No, but is it fair that, I mean, you can see both sides of the fence. Is it fair that they have to count their kids at a higher ratio than we do. I mean, I can see it from both sides of the fence. At the end of the day, just suit up, tie your cleats on, and let's go get it on. That's the way I always been.
That's so good.
That's good.
I mean, Jerry, you mentioned earlier, you know, we would have played St. Clair County instead of Briarwood on Black Friday when I was at Etowah.
Yeah.
And, Coach Yancey, that's a daggum good football team. And we had a Briarwood out of the north, and I believe it was St. Paul out of the south.
Right.
In the state championship. And Briarwood led the whole game, and St. Paul come back and won. But, I could make the argument that Etowah was the best private school in the north. It just didn't happen. I mean, it's a controversial topic, and I'm a non-tenured teacher, but I just think that I just think that the state champion's a state champion. World Series champion's a World Series champion. I mean, you just get the best.
Skylar Ray, you're the GOAT, man. My kids love Coach Skylar Ray. The stories that Brandon has come home with. And then my son that goes to Pleasant Valley, he's a senior now. He is addicted to your YouTube channel, and he's a duck guy. He's like you. He is addicted to shooting ducks. He's legit. I need to hook you guys up. I need you to take him on a hunt for me. But I just appreciate you, man, because and my my wife and she just, these kids love you. Wherever you've coached, wherever you've taught at, I just got to say this. You're loved and you're appreciated, and it doesn't go unnoticed, bro. It really doesn't.
Well, like I said, it's one of those things. I love high school football, and there's no telling where I would be right now if it wasn't for my high school football coach, especially, but all the coaches that I've had growing up, and I mean, I was coached by some really good guys, and it's just such a blessing to be able to coach those kids. And Etowah is no different than Cherokee County or North Jackson or Collinsville. I mean, I've been around some awesome kids, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know. I don't know that I'm equipped to do anything without ball, because my whole life's been kind of centered around ball, if you will. And I found out real quick at Jacksonville State when I was sitting there and we got into all the, once the basics were done and we got into our business classes or whatever, I figured out real quick I didn't want to wear a suit and tie to work every day. So I enjoy Friday night as much as anybody could possibly enjoy it.
One of your players, Braden Lowry, says you are one of one.
And we all praise God for that.
That's right.
We don't need to. Hey, but we'll let you guys talk about this. And it was Dr. Keener who made this comment. He says, winning football recruits. Doesn't mean an individual. And Jeff and I talk about it on our show a lot. Your facilities recruit.
That's
your
right.
coaches recruit by who they are. Your grades recruit. So, I think recruit is a negative word. It gets used a lot, but just having a good program, doing the right things, and your social media platform, making excitement, that's all legal ways to recruit.
Well, I agree 110%. I don't know if it's still my turn or not, but I mean, you look at, I'm an Auburn fan, but the greatest place to watch a college football game in the history of mankind is in Tuscaloosa. I mean, you got the Bryant Museum and all the accolades, and the T-shirts to tell you how many times they've won a national championship. I mean, you can't argue the fact that winning recruits, like Dr. Keener said. I mean, you look at what Steve Smith done when he was at Piedmont. He changed an entire town. Like the garbage trucks, the trash cans, the football stadium, the school, the community. I mean, high school football is the biggest business in America on Friday night. I mean, you go to Collinsville on Friday night and there's nobody at home. Everybody's at the game. You get the small town feel, and it's no different in Thompson. You're right. I mean, it's no different on Saturday in Tuscaloosa. especially I would say the Southeastern Conference type states. High school football is a business, and it's the biggest business in Collinsville.
Well, football Friday night in Collinsville and trade day on Saturday mornings.
Corn
It goes
dogs,
hand in
baby.
hand.
Corn dogs.
Hey, Mark, let's get to you for a second because, one thing I think a public school has an advantage over a private school is the built-in community. And Coosa don't necessarily have that built-in community, but I can't name a better atmosphere for high school football than a Coosa Christian, than a Westbrook.
Well, yeah, I mean it's good. I think Skylar's right in a lot of ways. I think it's just so much complaining. It's victim mentality these days. Everybody deserves a trophy these days, and they've lost the side of it being about the kids. Where you see pro public school people say private schools cheat, private schools say public schools cheat. It's insane. It's stupid. Okay, um, the schools that win, kids are going to come to. Period. When Coosa was the laughing stock of the state of Alabama,
Easy,
when they
easy.
were private school, why wasn't we getting all the best players, right? And so, it's just it's pathetic to use excuses and decide to go destroy what this state is known for. It's football. There's not a lot of things this state can be super proud of. It's got a lot of bad stuff in this state as well. And I love my state, you know that, Jerry.
Yep.
But it's always been built off pride of football, and seeing the state get destroyed because of stupid people making stupid decisions. All right, that's what's happening.
Hey, Coach O'Brien, I have a question. Have y'all seen a influx yet of any students now that the Choose, is it the Choose Act? Is that what
It
it's
is,
called?
yeah. It's called the Choose Act. That's correct,
Yeah.
Andrew. Yeah, yeah.
Have y'all seen
Yes,
what?
sir. We're seeing a pickup. Where you're going to really see the pickup, where the floodgates are going to open, is going to be next fall, because last year and this coming year it's based off income, right? And the cup of money is only so thick right now. The following year, it's going to be unlimited to anyone. And that's when you're going to see the gates bust open with many people choosing opting out of public schools and going private, I believe.
Well,
Yeah.
what are y'all? Y'all may jump an entire classification,
Well,
by then. I mean,
well, the way they've got it structured right now, Andrew, it's really two divisions in private school
yeah,
football now.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah.
suspect that will happen. I do believe there'll be buyer's remorse in 2 years, as you and I talked about. And if buyer's remorse is actually true, yes, you may be right.
And you're a Westbrook guy. I mean, you love Westbrook, Andrew, from your days there. What's the difference right now from when you were there than the current situation at Westbrook?
Night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget being at the game, Brody's first game his senior year, when ESPN was there. There were 10,000 people there. It was absolutely, truly insane. To him getting hurt, to the next home game having like 2,000. People there.
You keep Glencoe out of this, okay?
Yeah, but it is absolutely crazy how different that school is now than when I went there. But we had an importance on athletics when I went to school there, but now it's a different animal. I mean, the baseball complex, let's just call it that, is phenomenal. I mean, the football complex is incredible. We just built that. It's called the facility, where it's got 2 new gyms. In it. I mean, it's the emphasis on sports is through the roof, and so I got to give it, to Brody and his crew, that they have developed, I would say one of the best, facilities, overall high school athletic facilities in the county,
I agree.
and And I got to give it to them too. A lot of it has been individually donated, So, I mean, it's not like Westbrook is taking tuition money, and spending that money on the facilities. I mean, it's people coming to them and saying, hey, here's $250,000, go build us a hitting complex. I mean, it's so that's obviously beneficial, so I do think, that is going to have a lot to do with not only their success in athletics, but also the facilities are going to have a lot to do with the Choose Act, just like what, Coach O'Brien said, how, after next year, when it's not income based anymore, and anybody and everybody, and that's just human nature, so, I mean, you go to a school, let's just say, like, I don't know why this one popped into my head, but like Locust Fork, somewhere like that, to where they've got good sports programs, but a kid who, maybe on the star athlete schedule, who is within driving distance every morning of Westbrook, who now can actually go to a private school, not have to pay a dime, they may be taking, that not 5-star, but, that high caliber athlete away from them. So in my opinion, it's going to really affect, the public high school realm, of really good athletes in the rural schools.
Let's speak to that, because Skylar, you're that's who we're talking about, right? Collinsville is when it comes to facilities and those kind of things, you're limited. You are the voice of the public school on this show tonight.
Well, we're upgrading our facilities as well. I mean, we got a ton of rain today, and had it not just poured right at game time, we were going to be able to play baseball. I mean,
Wow.
our playing surface. Sandrock actually showed up tonight, and I stayed. And once it started just coming a flood right before 4:30 there in Collinsville, I decided I'd come on home and eat supper with the wife and score some brownie points. But yeah, we're upgrading our baseball facilities. We've got a big jumbotron there at Collinsville. I mean, we have. We've tried to do as much as we can to stay relevant, but at the end of the day, this is and I'm not. You said I was a voice of the public schools. I mean, I don't want that title, and I appreciate you being generous, but I'm only speaking for me. If if whoever wants to play barefooted, blindfolded, and whatever in the Piggly Wiggly parking lot in Collinsville, we're ready to go. I mean, my job is to coach those kids, and I don't care who the Alabama High School Athletic Association tells us we got to play or who Ernie Willingham schedules. I'm going to do my dead level best to have them ready to go and prepared and understand what's going on so they can make calls and we can, fly around the football and be successful. Because at the end of the day, I've never hired anybody in my business. I've never hired a soul based off of, what they scored on their ACT. I've never looked for a friend in life and thought, man, I've got to find a friend that scored in the 20s on their ACT. I've never heard of I bet Steve Smith scored pretty high because he's a pretty cognitive guy, but Skylar Ray didn't score very high, and I'd like to think I've been pretty successful. I wasn't a great student, and I'm not saying that's bragging, but at the end of the day, life relates to football, and if you can teach your kids to fight through adversity and get through the hard times, that's what high school football is about. It's not about public school, private school. It's not about going to the NFL or whatever. I mean, I'm pro NIL. I'm pro mixing it up on the field. At the end of the day, I think people get upset about certain things that at the end of the day really ain't going to matter 20, 30 years from now. I mean, and that's just my opinion. And it may not be a well-received one. It may not be a popular one, but I played with some great athletes that didn't make it to the NFL, and they're all went pro they all went pro doing something else. And I want my kids at Collinsville or wherever I'm coaching to be good daddies, good members of the community. I want them in the church house and out of the jailhouse. And if I can help do that, I think I've done my job.
That's good
I
stuff.
like that. Hey, if you guys don't feel obligated, you got to stay on. You guys need to jump off. This wasn't planned. Man, we appreciate you being on.
Hey, you want to read Scott Coley's comment, Jerry? I think it's a great comment.
Well, I got 2% on my phone, so good luck with that. Hey, but Skylar, I want you to get an opportunity, man. I want you to plug TC Duck Club.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, we are going to the state of Florida. We're helping host the state of Florida's duck call championship this weekend. So we're gonna go to school Friday, and then we're gonna hop in the bus and head down and kind of hang out this weekend in Florida at the Florida State Duck Calling Championship. I said Coach Jim Ronquist, but Mr. Jim Ronquist from Drake's going to be there. He's one of the judges for the contest. It should be a good time.
Heck yeah, but you got to promise me to come back on my show afterwards, because those stories they're awesome.
We can do it. There's no telling what's liable to happen between here and Yulee, Florida. There's no telling.
In the seven, Mark, where do you want to take the conversation?
I'm just here for the ride, man.
I've got a question.
Shoot.
Yes.
Hey, Coach O'Brien,
Yes, sir.
question for you, actually. Since after next year, private schools are practically going to be public schools, do you think private schools are arbitrarily going to raise their tuition?
Yeah, 100. Matter of fact, I think you're seeing that now, Andrew.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And now with Mr. Trump's executive order for federal dollars, I don't know what that looks like, Andrew, but it looks like I believe that school choice in Alabama deals like 7,000.
It is.
Okay, and so with the executive order that President Trump signed, I think there's going to be even a bigger boost than that, from my understanding. And
It makes sense.
Yeah. So you'll see it go up substantially, I think.
Got you. Just curious.
Yeah. It's a good question.
Scott Coley says, guys, y'all can weigh on this. If a program is more worried about another program more than they're worried about their own program, then they've already imploded. They should put the energy into improving their own programs. What are your thoughts on that? Anybody can take that one.
I think Scott Coley nailed it to the T.
First time for everything.
Oh, that's a fact. Somebody's cup is empty. Sorry about that one.
Not yet.
Oh, dang.
Not quite.
There.
Not
Sorry.
quite.
Sorry.
Hey, where'd that go? What else is going on?
Coach O'Brien's the only one's got one for you, Scott. Sorry, buddy. It's no big deal. Don't even worry about it.
Hey, you came in later, Skylar. We were talking about, and you don't have to weigh into this if you don't want to, but how important is this Etowah football hire?
Oh,
Man, Etowah is a special place to me. I remember getting in my dad's single cab stick shift pickup truck and going down to Todd's Collectibles and then eating at Ryan's down in Gadsden and going and watching Carnell Williams play. It was a great time for me at Etowah. And great people. I've got a lot of friends down there. I actually still cut the grass at Atala City Schools. I've got a lot of friends that I talk to. I actually saw Mr. Wayne and Mr. Jerry this week. We played Etowah in baseball, and we shared a chili dog out of the Collinsville concession stand. I had to apologize. I couldn't get him a corn dog, but I got him a chili dog. So
You shared it?
I brought them their very own. I mean,
Gotcha.
we all shared a meal together.
That's a fair question, though. Andrew.
No, we didn't lady.
he
We
said
didn't lady
they
in the tramp the hot dog. If that's
He
what
said
you're
they
asking.
shared it. Okay, got it.
But anyway, like I said, I mean, they're good people, and I've known Matt Miller, Mr. Miller,
You better get that right.
Respect on his name.
You better put some
I hadn't
respect.
talked to him. I hadn't talked to him in a while, but I really think he'll do a good job. His mother
He will.
whipped my tail when I was in middle school. She
She
was
should
our
have.
principal. We used to call her Killer Miller when I was in school.
Killer.
But his dad was one of my baseball coaches growing up,
That's
and of course Will, his brother, Matt's brother, was the right tackle that signed at Georgia Tech on the high school football team I played in, and I've got a lot of confidence in Matt that he's gonna get this hire correct. It's a tough time right now in Atala. I mean, at the end of the day, we had a bunch of move-ins from Boaz. We had move-ins from different places. Gunnersville. We had move-ins from Gadsden City, and like I said, I think you're going to have to hire somebody that's going to be exciting for the kids to play for. Somebody that's going to stay. Somebody that can fit in the city of Atala, and I don't think you can come in with just, all right, here's my rules, blah blah blah, because you see all different kind of kids at Atala.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds bad, but it's kind of split up between the haves and the have-nots. And sometimes before you get ready to lay the law down on this particular kid, you need to really stop and think where he spent the night before, or what he's been subjected to, or and I'm not making a crutch for him. I'm saying you still got to have discipline, but Atal is a unique place, and it's going to take a unique person to get it back. You look at Coach Farmer. I think the world of Coach Farmer, and they still hold him in high regards to this day, and like I said, I'm not saying he's perfect, but there's a bunch of people in Atala that would just go to war for Coach Farmer today, and that's the type of person I think that they have to hire, because at this point in time, it's no secret. Tyson Davis is one of the best football players in North Alabama. I mean, that's not arguable. That's not my opinion. It's simply facts, and I think the world of his family. I coached his brother, and that they want to win, and kids will transfer in to play with Tyson Davis, and as long as Tyson Davis is there, and can stay healthy, I don't see anybody leaving, or I do see kids wanting to move in and be around that, because people want to play with good football players, like was mentioned earlier. Winning recruits for you, and Tyson Davis is a winner. His family's winners, and at the end of the day, if they get this hire right, I don't think it's one of those things. I think Coach Peavy done a good job. I think he's a great guy. He's a buddy of mine. But for whatever reason, he decided to leave. I hadn't really spoken to him about that, and I don't want to go into it and put words in his mouth. But I just think you gotta hire somebody that is gonna figure it out. I mean, and it's a complex situation right now. But I think Matt's the guy to do the job, and not every superintendent has a former superintendent daddy to call on. So I think Mr. Miller will get it right. I really do.
Well, I'm going to ask the question that
take.
Andrew really wants to ask. If you're making the hire, who are you hiring, Skylar Ray? You can't hire yourself.
Nope.
Well, Lord, I don't know that. I don't know that I
It doesn't
could.
matter if they've applied or not. Who would you hire? Thank you for that question, Andrew.
You're very welcome.
If I was going to hire, I don't know. I don't know who I would hire. I don't know who's applied. I don't want to, just single anybody out. I mean, like I said, I've got a lot of respect for guys that I work for. Mark Rose won 85% of his games all the time. I mean, a winner's going to win, and obviously the internet's buzzing with Jacob Kelly's name. I think he done a great job here at Cherokee County.
Thanks,
He's a program builder. I think he's world class in the weight room. I think he can get kids excited. I think he does a good job with the dress code, if you will. I mean, I'm I'm a black and gold guy myself, and the uniform combinations and the helmet skins. I mean, kids today get excited about stuff like that. I think Jacob Kelly would probably be a good hire. I think Davin Hawkins would be a good fit.
Yeah.
There's several. Jameson Wadley is I read the
Hey,
comments.
there you go. There you go.
Family.
There you
Jameson
go.
Wadley,
Who?
Randy Dupree. I mean,
Yeah, Randy.
to me, and the reason I'm not throwing Randy's name in the hat is because Randy's a loyal guy. We've been buddies since elementary school, and we used to. You talk about NIL deals. Our NIL deals come out of quarters from the ashtray in each other's car. We'd go to McDonald's and eat the dollar menu at Jacksonville State, and we'd buy one cup, and we'd all share. We'd all drink out of the same cup because we couldn't afford another drink. But I just don't think it would be a good look for Randy to leave 1 year into his first head coaching job, and that is really one of the only reasons I didn't
what would
throw
you
his
say
name
about
out there.
that to a guy that's Kelly that's went in and hadn't coached a game, has been there 2 months? If Randy's not, he's been there, he coached the season, but Kelly can leave in 2 months and not coach the game.
Oh,
Well, it's easy. It's easy to be an armchair quarterback, and I know Coach Kelly. No, I mean, I'm just saying I could give you 1,000. I could be the armchair quarterback and give you 1,000 explanations on why Coach Kelly left down there.
Sure, I understand. Sure.
The only thing I know is what I read, just like y'all, and I read that he had some family issues, and my dad was diagnosed with liver cancer when I was in 8th grade, and they gave him 3 months to live.
Sure.
And his liver cancer went into remission while I was at in high school, whatever. And then when I got to UAB, he got sick again. So I transferred back to Jacksonville State just to be a little closer to home. So I don't know what's going on with Coach Kelly's family. Only thing I know is he done a great job while he was at Cherokee County.
Sure did.
And a guy that took Cherokee County to back state championship game appearances, you got to kind of tip your hat. He had some great athletes, but
maybe
those
the
coaches,
best they've had in the last 25 years.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, they had some really good athletes, but they were coached well, and they were definitely in shape. They were strong. They had good parents at home. It was a good situation. But I do think I'll stand on it. I think Coach Kelly would be a good hire.
I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. But I do have this question before you go on and give me who you're going to hire. Did they fly him back out with the helicopter, or he had to get his own transportation back out of Ozark?
He's not getting a helicopter in a Tyler. I'm gonna tell you right now. What he's getting is Dwayne Ball is driving him in on one of those.
No, we make it. Man, I make him reach out to Jamie Grant. We make him get Ahmed to ambulance him in.
Look, I tell you what. I tell you what. I like Jacob Kelly. I've had several conversations with him, and I have a unique vehicle myself, and I've got ties to a Tala. So if they hire him, I'll usher. Jacob Kelly can be the grand marshal in the Christmas parade in the TC Duck Club bus.
That's awesome.
I love it. That's so good. So good.
But like I said, if I was going to hire, I was going to hire anybody, I would probably have to hire. If Carnell Williams turned me down,
he's turning you down.
His wife.
If Carnell Williams turns me down, that's the first person. That's my first phone call.
Yeah.
And then my second phone call would probably be Freddie Kitchens, and the reason they're in that order is I'm an Auburn fan. But I think I would have to probably give the edge to somebody that had been there recently. I think I would probably hire Jacob Kelly.
Oh,
gosh, I still haven't gotten a call. I mean, I applied, but not even the acknowledgement of an application.
Well, just like your IRS returns, you got to hit send.
That's it.
It's okay to have them on the computer, but you got to send it in, right?
Yeah, too soon, Jerry.
I'm calling after 9 o'clock at night. His wife has had a safeguard set up on all of his computer systems,
so nothing goes out.
Nothing goes out.
Hey, I'm reaching out to Derek Nix
Yeah.
He would be one of my top couple calls. I'm reaching out to Skylar Ray, not sucking up because you're on the
Sure,
show. I've had this
sure. I would
conversation
agree with
privately with
that.
a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
would agree.
people. I am not reaching out to Marco Bryant. I don't
You
need that
shut your
drama in a
mouth.
towel. I don't need that drama in a towel. I just don't.
No, I don't. My alma mater don't need that. You just leave him alone. Shut your face.
Hey,
Mark,
boys,
your
this-
headboard.
He
Mark,
thinks
Mark,
he's
Coach
pushing my
O'Brien,
buttons. He's not pushing my buttons. Huh?
Coach O'Brien, your headboard looks legit. I don't.
Yeah, man, about that.
I mean,
It's
it's
so
the Playboy
funny.
Mansion. What's happening?
Y'all didn't see him take the fuzzy handcuffs off the top right before we started shooting.
Oh my gosh.
Gary.
Lordy,
Hey,
Lordy.
he's from Emma Sansom.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, boys, let's wrap this one up. I appreciate
Yeah,
you
let's
guys
get
jumping on.
Thank
It's
you,
getting
buddy.
late. And again, we were just, Jeff and I said, hey, man, let's just have a fun show.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we got the boys. So
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. You three are special to us. Seriously, man. We appreciate you guys.
Look, I really appreciate y'all asking me to be on it.
Enjoyed it, guys.
It was
Guys,
fun.
love y'all. Hey, stay close, stay clean, and you know what? Jesus is Lord, no matter what. That's what.
God
That's
bless
a
you.
fact, Jack.
That's a fact.
And hey, Jerry.
Yeah.
And the Yankees are trash.
No, they're not.
They're trash.
Did you watch the game
They
today, Coach?
hammered Atlanta today,
Did
Mark.
you watch this game?
Oh, okay.
They'll
Well,
blow in
and-
the playoffs. They will. They'll blow in the playoffs.
No,
They
listen.
threw nobody.
Well,
the top
major
of the
league right
second-
there.
The top of the second today, I cut the game off. I text Jerry. I started
So I'm watching Bob Does Sports
right here. Have a day.
I've had too many days
Atlanta,
today.
terrible.
Watch your mouth, Jeff. Okay.
Look, I'm a lifer, Andrew. I'm
The
a
best
lifer.
thing about the Atlanta Braves over the New York Yankees is they're in Atlanta and not New York. That's all I'll say.
Coach,
Jeff
have
and Jerry,
You don't have to go to New York to watch
seen
them
it?
play in person.
Oh my gosh, they're
You know,
ridiculous.
the disrespect on this show
No,
is
my hat is gray
Jerry.
and black.
Hey, this is important right here, really.
it always is.
Jerry, I need to know if what John Rocker said about New York, is it true or is it false?
Oh,
It's true.
it's 100% true.
True.
100%
All right, there we go.
true. 100% true, Mark.
True. And
Oh,
we said
yeah.
John Rocker. Now YouTube is going to literally take this
It
video.
is, especially on the subway.
There it is.
Y'all have a good
Y'all
night,
idiots.
boys.
Love